Welcome to today's English vocabulary lesson. I hope you are ready and excited to learn a new English vocabulary word, a real word used by native English speakers in real life. Now, to prepare for this lesson, you needed to have downloaded and got your copy of the ebook Daily English Vocabulary Book Number 1. But if you have not gotten your ebook yet, don't worry, you can go right now to www.studywithtiffani.com. Again, Daily English Vocabulary Book Number 1. Now, are you ready? Well then, I'm Teacher Tiffani. Let's jump right in. All right, so our word for today is adverse. Again, adverse. Now I'm going to set our 3-minute timer, all right? The timer has begun. Now I want you to repeat after me. Adverse. Good. Again, adverse. Excellent. Last time after me. Adverse. Excellent. Now, this word adverse just means unfavorable or against one's desires. One more time. Unfavorable or against one's desires or what one wants. So, I follow quite a few channels on YouTube. And there's a gentleman that I follow on YouTube, and he lives in New York City. And he normally does videos about life in New York, and they're pretty interesting. But prior to the pandemic, prior to what has been happening in the world right now with COVID, he would go out almost every day and you'd see people everywhere. He'd visit stores and restaurants and many different things. But once COVID hit, his videos changed a bit because many of the stores and restaurants weren't open. You see, the pandemic has had adverse effects on many businesses and restaurants, not just in New York, but around the world. But one video that I saw several months ago involved a restaurant. And this restaurant in New York had been affected. It had been affected by the pandemic. Many adverse effects they experienced because of the pandemic. The doors closed, they couldn't have anyone inside of their restaurant, and they lost a lot of money. But this restaurant in New York City had a very unique idea. They decided to have an outdoor restaurant. Everyone would sit 6 feet apart. They'd have live music. And this young man on YouTube was interviewing the restaurant owner. And it was so interesting to see how this restaurant owner, even though he had experienced the adverse effects of the pandemic, had actually made the best of a bad situation. And he's doing okay now. Makes sense, right? You heard how I used the word adverse. All right, so let me give you an example sentence using this word. Here we go. The man did not like to hear any adverse criticism. One more time. The man did not like to hear any adverse criticism. All right, now I hope you understood the definition and the example story I gave you for this word. What I want you to do right now is take out your ebook, Daily English Vocabulary Book Number 1, and I want you to look at the other example sentences that go along with this word adverse. Practice them and understand them. If you don't have your book, don't worry. Go to www.studywithtiffani.com and get your copy now. All right, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next lesson. Remember to speak English.